All right. Hello, everyone. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the free Shiksha IELTS classes, everyone. Hello. Hi. I can see a lot of you, messaging on the comment section. That's great. Happy to see your enthusiasm about your, free Shiksha IELTS classes. So guys, till now, if you have not registered with us, then please click on the link below, which is given in the description. And with the help of that, you'll get access to every free video of ours. In case you have missed out on our, free Shiksha IELTS classes for particularly reading, which we have just finished in the previous week, then again, you can click on the link below and find the registration link. Today we are going to start with the listening class. So we'll wait for another 1 minute, let others also join, and then we'll start with the today's class. So till then, if you have not registered, then click on the link below and get free, end-to-end counseling by our expert counselors, free of cost. And also you can download the sample papers. And everybody, just a reminder, we have the YouTube channel with the same name as well. So you can just subscribe with us so that you do not miss out on any class in further future, okay? So in case you have missed out on our reading module free Shiksha IELTS class, then you can refer back to the link and watch them later on after this live video session. Alright, so it's 5 p.m. by my watch, and without any further delay, I would like to start with the today's class. So a little revision about previously covered. So what did I cover in my previous week, of our free Shiksha IELTS class? So we covered the IELTS reading questions and the reading overview, and we discussed all the question types. So in case you, attended the video of mine where I taught you about different kinds of questions which you encounter in your IELTS paper in the reading module. So yes, you must have seen how I have explained every question in detail. I had also discussed all the assessment questions related to reading module. So, in case you have missed out all of that, then please click on the link below, which is given in the description, and you will find access to that free video of ours. To be covered. Now, what am I going to cover today in today's class? That is IELTS listening. So I'm going to give you an overview about IELTS listening module as a whole, and then I'm going to show you what is the format of the paper, what are the question types. So we will not discuss the question types in detail because we have other, free Shiksha IELTS classes coming up in future where I'll be discussing from tomorrow itself, in fact. So from tomorrow itself, I'll be discussing one question each day, okay, of IELTS listening module. In the same way we have finished, we had finished reading module as well. So yes, coming back to the slide format, then I'll show you what are some question types, then I'll give you some tips and strategies, okay, then I'll also give you some skills which are needed for the listening paper particularly, and in the end I will give you some time to ask your doubts and queries, okay. So it will be basically a doubt clearing session where you will be asking me questions in the on the comment section, and then I'll be answering them one by one. So I can see the questions, coming up already. So please wait patiently, guys, for your turn, and I will give you some time, don't worry, in the end, and then you can ask me questions, okay? But let me just finish this slide first. Let me finish the PPT, and then we'll come back to your questions. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the free Shiksha IELTS class. Okay. So as you can see on my screen, first we are going to go through the format of the IELTS listening paper. So IELTS listening test format. The IELTS listening test is the same for both academic and general training exams. Okay, the timing which is given to you is 30 minutes, that is half an hour for your listening paper, plus 10 minutes to transfer the answers to your answer sheet. So please mind it that these 10 minutes are given to you only if you're giving a paper-based test. For CBT, that is computer-based test, you are just given 30 minutes or half an hour for your IELTS listening exam. You are not given 10 minutes extra in the case of computer-based test. But if you are giving paper-based test, then only you are given 10 minutes extra to transfer the answers from your question paper to the answer sheet. Okay. Number of questions. So the number of questions which come in your exam or which you encounter in your paper are total 14 number. Each correct answer is awarded 1 mark. Okay, so each question is worth 1 mark. Your score out of 40, which is raw score, is converted to the corresponding IELTS band scale level using this conversion table. So let me show you how the table looks like. So this is the IELTS test conversion table. So for example, in your IELTS listening module, you got in the exam 34, okay, out of 40. So in that case, the band which you will fall in is 7.5. For example, if you got, more less or lesser than this, for example, you got 28. So between 27 to 29, you got 28 in IELTS listening exam. So in that case, you will get 6.5. Okay. So this is how your scores are calculated as per your bands. Now let's read further. The IELTS listening test is made up of 4 sections. Okay, so total of 4 sections you have in your listening exam. In each section, you will listen to a recorded text and then answer a series of questions on it. So the text will be played only once. I have highlighted it in bold. This is very important for you to know as an IELTS candidate, that in the listening exam, the audio for half an hour is played only once. You cannot rewind it, you cannot make it forward. Okay, so you have to listen with very much concentration so that you do not miss out on any important point. Over the course of the test, you will hear a variety of voices and native speaker accents such as British English, Australian, American, and Canadian. You may also hear a range of different regional British accents. So in case you are worried about the accents, then please start practicing more for your IELTS listening paper, because in IELTS listening, the more you practice, the more you will gain knowledge about different accents. Okay, it cannot come in one day. It needs a whole lot of practice to understand the different accents so that you do not make mistake in any question. Now let's read about the 4 sections which are given to you in the IELTS listening. So these are the 4 parts or sections of the IELTS listening test. Now section 1 is a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. Example, booking tickets to the theatre. So section 1 is basically an audio or a recording in which there is a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. So it can be anything, a friendly talk, or maybe a neighbor talking to another neighbor, something like that, and something very general and common in nature. Then section 2, it is a monologue set in an everyday social context. So monologue, that means, come here with me, a monologue is just where just one person is speaking. Okay, so monologue is something in which only one person is speaking. For example, right now I'm taking this free Shiksha IELTS class, so I am giving a monologue. I'm teaching you. Okay, it's kind of a monologue here. Now section 3, a conversation between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. Example, a group of students discussing a university assignment. So section 3 can be kind of a recording in which there are between 2 or 4 people talking about an academic topic or an educational training context. Now section 4 is a monologue on an academic subject. Again, section 4 is just like section 2, a monologue again, but on an academic subject. Example, a lecture on wildlife. Okay, so these are just few examples just to let you know how your sections or your recordings will be divided as per the parts. Now a monologue, we already know, it's where just one person is speaking. As you can see, the first 2 sections of the test relate to the social situations, that is section 1 and section 2, social context. Can you see this? Yes. Coming back to this line, while sections 3 and 4 relate to educational and training situations. So section 3 and 4 you can see here on educational and training context and on academic subject. Okay. Now although parts 3 and 4 have an academic context, You are not expected to have a detailed knowledge of the topics. It is your listening skills that are being assessed, not your understanding or knowledge of the subject. Now, this means that you are not being tested on your knowledge of the context. You are being tested on the skills, how well you listen to the recording or how well you answer your questions after listening to the audio. Okay. Now, there are two major points which you have to keep in mind while giving the IELTS listening paper. Let's see what are they. First, there will be 10 questions in each section. Okay, so the sections will be divided as per 10 questions in each section. The questions get harder as you progress through the test. So always remember, your section 1 and 2 will be quite easy as compared to your section 3 and 4, because the difficulty level keeps on increasing as you go with the paper. Okay. Now, coming back to IELTS listening questions types. Now, let's see what are few questions which you can encounter in your exam, IELTS exam. So, one is matching, that is, matching your questions. Multiple choice questions, these are also known as MCQs. Then we have note completion, we have form completion, table, sentence, summary, short answer questions. Then we have maps and plans labeling. Okay, basically a map will be given to you and you have to label the map and plan. And in the end we have diagram and flowchart completion questions. So these are few of the questions which you might encounter in your paper, and you will be asked a variety of different types of questions selected from this list. So it can be this scenario that all of them are being asked in one paper, or it can be that few of them are selected for each of the IELTS paper. Okay, so it can be anything. Now let's talk about few skills which you need for your IELTS listening paper. The IELTS listening test is designed to assess your ability to understand the main ideas, understand detailed factual information, recognize the opinions and attitudes of speakers, recognize the purpose of the communication, and follow the development of ideas or arguments. So just keep it in mind that these are few of the skills which you need to exercise, which you need to implement in your IELTS listening module. Okay. Now, if we talk about the marking tips, let's see how are the marking tips done. It is important to note that your answers will be marked wrong if your spelling is incorrect, if your answers are grammatically incorrect, or if you write the incorrect number of words. So these three are very crucial points, guys. Please keep them in mind in order to get the maximum bands. Read the questions very carefully, as many will state the number of words that you must write or give you a maximum number of words permitted. For example, write one word and or a number, write one word only, or write no more than 2 words. So these are few of the instructions which you will find in your IELTS listening module on top, okay, of the questions. On top of every question there will be given to you some instructions, so please read them very carefully. If you write more than instructed, that means if you write more than what is being asked, your answer will be marked wrong even if you give the correct information. Don't throw away marks by silly mistakes like these. So these are counted as silly mistakes. Your spelling mistakes, your grammatical mistakes, or your word limit mistakes. So these mistakes have to be avoided, all right, in order to gain the maximum benefit out of your questions. That means to get maximum marks. Great presentation on the comment section. Okay, thank you so much. I hope all of you are being attentive for that. All right, on this. Okay, coming to the 14 listening tips, which I have included in my PPT for all of you, and I'm sure those will help you. So first tip which I want to give you is attempt all questions. This is very important. There are no penalties for incorrect answers. Penalties means negative marking. So there is no negative marking in your IELTS exam anywhere. Reading, listening, writing, speaking, nowhere. Okay, so please do not leave any blank empty. That is why I keep telling you guesswork, okay, or predict the answers, but please do not leave any blank empty, because sometimes the guesses can be right? So be careful to not waste time on a question that you don't know enough, and guess and move on. Second tip is watch out for plurals in answers. If the question requires a plural answer, a singular answer is incorrect. Now, what is the meaning of singular and plural? Singular means one, okay, a boy. But plural, that means boys. I have added S, okay, so that means more than one. So they are talking about that, look out for plurals in your answers. So in case in the audio, if it is, said as, if in the audio somebody says boys and you have written boy as an answer, okay, without S, that means it will be wrong. So you have to hear it very correctly, very properly, okay. Watch out for these small things. So answers appear in the order that they are heard in the audio. They come quickly or with large gaps between them. So the gaps can be, of any limit. That means there can be a gap of few seconds, or there can be a gap of even just 1 second. So it depends on the flow or the rhythm of the audio which is being played in the paper. And here the tip is answer appears in the order. That means, as I told you in the reading module itself, that you have to see how your answers are being placed. So in this listening module as well, your answers will be put in chronological order. So for example, once you have heard the audio and you have written the answer for question 1 and 2, then gradually there will be answers coming up in the audio for gradually third and fourth question. So it cannot be up to and fro. You do not have to go up and find the answer again for question 1 and 2. Once they are done, then only they will give you the answers for 3 and 4. So see how their questions are being placed. It will always be in chronological order. Okay. Now coming to the fourth tip, prepare to hear a potential answer that is not the actual answer. This is common when two people are making plans. So they first agree on meeting a certain time, but then one remembers that they cannot, so they decide on a new timing. This is very important, guys. So sometimes we just hear the word and we think that is the answer and we write it quickly. Please do not do that. Just make notes. If you think some word is an answer, just make notes and write it with a pencil on question paper in the listening exam. And once you think that is the final answer, then write it in the answer sheet. Okay, sometimes we just hear it quickly and we do not hear the information which is coming with it. Okay, so we have to hear the whole sentence. Please do not just hear the audio just for half the sentence and judge the answer. Listen to the full audio, listen to the full sentence. They might change, later on. The answers might change. Hence, to get the final answer, you have to listen to everything, but just keep making the keywords or the notes, okay, with pencil. Okay. Now coming to the fifth one, take care when you transfer your answers and pay attention to the word limit for your answers on your answer sheet. So again, as I told you, word limit is a very crucial factor here. So again, just look for the words, how many number of words do you need as an answer? 1 word, 2 word, 3 words, okay, or do you need a number or do you need a date for the answer, and then write it. Especially while transferring the answers from question paper to the answer sheet. Why am I saying that? Because after half an hour of audio or after half an hour of the recording in IELTS listening module, the candidates, they quickly in a hurry or in haste, they transfer the answers from question paper to the answer sheet and they make mistakes. Like while transferring, they write the spelling incorrectly, or maybe some grammatical mistake, or maybe the number of words are to and fro. So you have to check all of this, especially when you're transferring the answers from your question paper to your answer sheet of IELTS listening module. Okay. And this I have told you in the reading paper as well when we were discussing the reading questions. So in case, guys, if you have missed out on our free Shiksha IELTS class for reading module, which we just covered, in the previous week, the last week, then please click on the link below to get more information about the reading module. Okay, that we have already finished in our previous week. So coming back to the slide, sixth tip is multiple choice answers will ask for a letter A, B, C, D. Write a letter and not the corresponding answer. So you do not have to write the whole sentence or the whole word as an answer. Where you are given the points that, write A, B, C, D as an answer. So please write A, B, C, D. Do not write the whole word which is in front of A, B, C, D. Okay. When asked to complete a sentence using no more than 2 words, and the correct answer is leather coat, then a coat made of leather is incorrect. Same goes for numbers. So please, make it a point to see how many words do you have to use. Eighth, hyphenated words like part-time are considered as one word. Part-time. Okay? Alright. Then we come to the ninth tip, which says a date, for example 1990, is considered as one number. Okay, so it is not 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 numbers, it is one number. It is a date, proper date, so it will be considered as one number, 1990. This. Now coming to the 10th one, focus on what the speaker is saying and not how they are saying it. Okay, so you have to focus on what the speaker is actually saying, but you do not have to focus on how they are saying it or what is their accent. Are they speaking very informally or formally, or they are speaking in a great pace, that means a very good speed, or a slow speed. Please do not see such unimportant things. Please do not focus on these things. Focus on the things which they are saying. That means on what topic are they talking about, what are they talking about, what is the discussion going about. So these are the things which we have to focus on, especially when we are listening to the audio in your IELTS listening. Now, don't take notes in complete sentences. So when you're making notes in your question paper while listening to the audio, at the same time you have to make notes and write the answers as well, right? So when you're making notes, please do not make it in lengthy sentences. Just try to write abbreviations or short forms when you're taking notes. Those will be your keywords which will derive the answer finally. Okay? Alright, coming to the 12th one, get the habit of distinguishing between essential and non-essential information. That means important and non-important. So if two people are talking about making plans for a dinner, the important information is the date and time they finally agree upon. Other dates and times they considered become irrelevant. Irrelevant means not in context or not in relation with the context. Okay. 13th tip is try to guess what the speaker is going to say. That means try to predict the words or the sentences, the phrases, because that will give you the idea like what is the speaker going to say, right? So speakers will often drop clue words or outline what they will talk about beforehand. This gives you the ability to start your own outline to then fill in. This means this 13th tip means that you can predict the answer beforehand so that you have already few keywords or few synonyms by yourself, okay, before you actually write the answer. So you will have some information in your mind before you actually hear it. That will also make it easy for you to guess the answer. 14th and the last tip says, listen to the audio while reading the audio script. So this will help you to get a sense of how questions are spaced out, as well as learning some useful expressions that are frequently used in listening tests. We often give this tip to students wondering how to improve listening in IELTS. So this 14th tip is basically for your practice session and not for your, IELTS listening module exam. Because in the exam, obviously you cannot read the audio script. You will just hear the recording and just write the answer. But this 14th tip is for your practice session. So for example, when the audio script is given in front of you and you're hearing the audio, you're seeing the words which are being spoken in the audio, and then you translate in your own words. You can find some synonyms of those words, or you can just read the audio script and then practice by yourself. So you'll get the idea how the listening paper is actually formed or formatted for you. Now that is all, guys, from my side in terms of PPT and the IELTS listening overview. Now we come to your doubt clearing session. So as I promised you that you will ask me questions and I will answer them for you one by one. So now you have the time for asking me any question if you have in your mind related to this particular free Shiksha IELTS class, our first listening IELTS class. Either you can ask me a question related to this, or you can ask me any random question related to IELTS, any particular module. So yes, please start. Hello everyone. So in case, guys, you were late for the class or you joined late, then let me repeat, please click on the link below to get our free access to the free Shiksha IELTS class, to every free video of ours. We have already completed the reading module in the last week. And in case you want to go and watch them, you want some help regarding any question, we have discussed the reading module in detail, about every question in detail separately in every class. Okay, so in case you want to know that, please click on the link below, which is given in the description. In case you want to get free Shiksha IELTS counseling, then please refer to the link again and click there, and you would get in contact or in touch with our expert counselors free of cost. And also please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is with the same name, Shiksha Study Abroad YouTube channel, so that you do not miss out on any video of ours which is coming in the month of June in future. Yeah, so this is what I said. Somebody's asking me, Kelvin, hello ma'am, please can you put the video regarding reading? Well, dear, the video has been already uploaded on our channel as well as on our page, so you can just go and watch it. It has been recorded for you all of you. It's free of cost. Okay, just click on the link below and you will get access to every free video of ours. And in case you have missed out on any of the listening, our first listening class today, then please you can watch this video later on with your friends and family. If they also need to know about IELTS training, then please go and watch it. Okay, so the question is, how can we recognize the age limit of the speaker when he or she is speaking? Well, there is no need to guess the age. Age is not the criteria for your IELTS listening exam. This skill is not needed. Okay, so no need to worry about the age of the speaker. That's not needed. I am weak in IELTS writing and I have exam on 24th June. Can you do my IELTS reading? Well, unfortunately, we do not have any platform as such for now where I can check your papers. But yes, we are going to, cover up writing module after the listening. So after this particular week, we'll be following the writing module. In case you have some time left, you can always join our writing classes, and then maybe those classes would help you. Okay, and I'm sure those will help you because I'm discussing IELTS in detail in this whole month of June. So I have already discussed reading in 1.5 weeks, past 1.5 weeks in the previous week, and this week we are mainly focusing on listening. We'll be discussing all the question types, their sample answers. We'll be solving it in front, me and you together, we'll be solving it on the YouTube live streaming, and then you can have some answers in front of you. You can always practice back later on, as well as you can come back to these videos later on in case you need help again. So if we write in the doctor handwriting, is it possible to lose marks due to bad handwriting? Yes. So let me tell you that it's a very great tip which I'm going to give you now. Please do not lose marks on your handwriting. Handwriting plays a very important role in your IELTS exam, be it reading, listening or writing, especially writing. Please do not go with the bad handwriting. In case you think that you really have a very bad handwriting and nobody gets to understand that, then I would suggest you to go for your CBT exam, because in that you have to type the answer. Okay, so could you please talk on how to improve my speaking? Well, speaking also we'll be talking about in the last week of June. We'll be covering up speaking module in detail. But yes, for now I can give you a small tip that try to practice in front of the mirror, because that would boost up your confidence. When you look at yourself while talking in English, definitely that will give you confidence. If not that, then please talk to someone or read some magazines and journals. Try to practice more in uncommon language. So this is what I can suggest you for speaking right now. But yes, if you want to know more, then please do join our speaking classes, which are in the last week of June. So somebody is asking, what is the difference between IELTS academic listening and general training listening? So I think you missed out on our one of the slides here when I was giving you the information that it remains the same for both. So in IELTS academic and general training listening module, there is no difference. Listening and speaking remains the same. The difference is in writing and little bit in reading. So what is the difference between CBT and paper format? Well, CBT is your computer based, So you typically write your answers and type your answers on computer or laptop, and on paper you give your paper on the paper. You give your exam on the paper. So is it just the extra 10 minutes? No, it's not just about extra 10 minutes, but yes, in listening there is no difference. 10 minutes are only given in paper-based tests, by the way. That also was mentioned in one of the slides. So please go and watch this video again. It was a short video today because I had to just give you the overview of your IELTS listening exam. So please go do watch it. Note paper is given during the IELTS test. Yes, your answer sheets will be given to you from the center itself. So you can, answer sheet as well as question paper will be given to you there in the test center. But there are questions about this in the IELTS guidebook and the options are young and old. Well, then that might be the question type, okay? Like which person is talking and which person is not talking. That means it will be specified in the IELTS listening paper and the questions might be on that, but it's not related to your skill which is needed for your IELTS listening paper. Okay, you do not need to recognize what is the age of the speaker. They will never ask you this kind of question. They might ask you something in context with the old and young generation which they are talking about in the audio, but not as a skill. So guys, I would suggest you please do not write your questions in half format, that is half question is here and then there are few comments coming up and then is your another part of the question. It's confusing me as well. Somebody has written sorry general listening. So please specify your question once you have written it completely, only then ask it, only then type it, because there are many comments coming up and I have to answer one question, one by one each question. So please write your question in the full form and also as a whole. Can you make rough notes on the question paper? Yes, you're allowed to do anything on the question paper. You can write anything. Will it matter to which university I go if I opt for computer-based IELTS? No. It's same for everybody, paper-based or computer-based. So nothing is dependent on that. Is IELTS important for homeopathic doctor also in UK or OET? Well, I would suggest you go with OET because OET is more famous among the nurses and doctors, especially in UK. So just ask from the medical organization where you're planning to migrate in UK. So just ask them what do they need. Okay. Do they need IELTS academic? Do they need IELTS general training? Or do they need OET? OET is your occupational English test. So this is basically for nurses and doctors who want to migrate to UK. So just ask them there what do they need and then start practicing. So I would suggest every candidate of mine who is watching this video right now that please do a little bit research on the exam which you're planning to give and also do some research on the college and university, what do they need, and ask them through the help of counselors. And of course, you can get in touch with our free counselor experts so that they can help you on your IELTS exam. So somebody is asking, this is a very good question and many questions have been coming up like this. So somebody is asking, ma'am, in IELTS listening should we write in small letters or capital letters? Well, the answers should be given in capital letters. That is what we suggest the candidates, because sometimes due to the bad handwriting or handwriting issue, the examiners might not understand your letters. For example, A might look like O or C, half C, right? So yes, so please do write every word which you're writing as an answer in capital letters and with a pencil. So everything related to the university and college should be put up to the counselors. If you want to know anything about the IELTS exam in particular regarding the training part, then please ask your questions here. In case you want to know anything about the other exam or about any university or country as a whole, then please get in touch with our counselors. So somebody is asking, I have a conditional offer from Buckingham University in the UK and the university is demanding me to provide them with. Okay, so just ask them, do they need IELTS? Or if they need IELTS, then how many bands do you need? Just ask them these questions. Get in touch with our counselors and then maybe they'll be able to help you, okay? In fact, surely they'll be able to help you. Well, personal classes are not allowed, guys. I'm really sorry about that. It's against our policy of the company. Will you be taking some sample question and answers for listening? Yes, of course. So I will be taking some, sample question and answers for each of the question type. That means 2 or 3 sample questions of matching, then 2, 3 sample questions of multiple choice, 2, 3 of summary and sentence completion, 2, 3 of maps. Okay. I have done this in the same way with the reading class as well. So in case you have missed out on our reading module, please click on the link below. That will help you to gain knowledge about each question separately. So I had there also discussed in the last week all the questions. I had solved them in front of you with the answers, with the explanation. So that would help you for your IELTS reading as well. So in case you have missed that out, please click on the link which is given in the description below. So with IELTS, but we have no center in South Sudan, so what should I do? Then please ask the counselors where you can give the IELTS exam and what is the nearest center to your country or place. Can I use the practice papers and also these tips for the general exam too? Yes, of course, because IELTS listening is same for academic and general training. So these tips are, for both academic and general training. Both can follow these tips. Somebody is saying, ma'am, in Shiksha Abroad Consultancy, Yukti counselor is very good and supportive. Well, in case Yukti, sees this video of ours, then definitely she'll be happy to know this. Thank you so much. Okay, so in case if you are new, if you are a newcomer, Jitu, then no problem, no need to worry about anything because we have just finished one module for now. So I have just covered up, reading module for IELTS exam. I will be covering in detail listening in this week. Then in next week we are coming up to writing module, and in the last week of June we'll be covering up speaking module. So don't worry about that. In case you're a new joiner, just click on the link below, register with us, and that way you will get access to every free video of ours. So you can watch the previous videos as well. So anybody who has missed out on our reading previous videos, please watch them. Ma'am, please share the link. The link is given in the description. Please find it in the description below, which is just below this video. So in the description of the video, there is one link. Just click on that. It is blue in color. So how can we recognize generation person voice? I'm sorry, but I'm not getting your question. Next question is, if there are 2 answers correctly, is it possible to write both the answers in the sheet? Yes, you can write both the answers, but you have to select. As I said in one of my tips today in the module, as I told you in the tips also, that you have to segregate and you have to separate your questions and answers in the way that you know what is essential information and you know what is non-essential information. Okay, so in both the cases you should be able to recognize how do you have to select your answer. So is the IELTS same in every country? Yes, it's the same globally. I mean the difficulty level. Yes, of course, the difficulty level also remains the same. It's only that the segregation or the separation is between academic and general training, or either, paper-based test or computer-based test. Otherwise, the context or the syllabus of IELTS remains the same. It's just that IELTS academic and general training have the differentiation between reading and writing. Listening and speaking remains the same for both the categories. Okay, so now the question is, IELTS is best for Australia for studies? Yes. IELTS is accepted globally, so it is best for every country. But still, as I said, just do a little bit of research. If you're planning to migrate to Australia, just see, do you need IELTS or do you need PTE? Pearson's test of English. Okay, so just see which one do you need. Because in Australia, mainly they, consider PTE as the exam, and it is gaining recognition day by day. So now the question has been explained, and the person is asking me, how can we recognize the generation of the person speaking in the recording? Is it old or young? Well, that you would be able to tell, of course, just by listening to the audio. And as I said, as I repeated in one of my answers, that there is no need to understand or there is no need to guess which kind of person is speaking up, either younger or older, because that is not needed for your IELTS listening test. Okay? That is not a skill which you need. What about typing in computer based? Should it be capital or normal start from capital? Yeah, of course. In the typing, while typing, there is no problem about the handwriting, so you can write it in either form. But yes, just make sure that once you are starting the answers, writing in capital letters, then all the answers should be in capital. But in case you have written few answers in small and few answers in capital, that will not do. Okay, then your marks will be cut in that case. So just be sure that you're writing all the answers in the same way. Either you're typing or writing it in small letters, or either you're typing it or writing it in capital letters, be it computer based or be it paper based. So I hope, guys, all of your questions, sorry, have been answered well. And again, I'm repeating, please, understand this thing that it's not just about the PPT. You will have to practice it, thoroughly many times. Then only you will get the knowledge about the exam and, what kind of questions have to be answered which way. Is IELTS same in every country? Yes. Okay. So another question is, I have IELTS speaking exam on 14th June and I'm so much worried about it. Don't be worried about it, because obviously the examiner is not going to eat you up, right? He's not a monster. He's just a person like you. First of all, just get this scenario, out of your head that you're going to give an exam, because when you think of the exam too much, then you get nervous, right? So this is the time when you don't have to get nervous. Just give your best. Use kind of formal and informal language both, just according to the question, and be confident. These are few tips which I can give you right now, because it is only 2 days left for your exam. So yes, and no need to worry about any question in particular. They are not testing your knowledge. They are just testing how well you speak. That's it. So somebody is asking me how long each part last in IELTS. So the whole paper is for around 2.5 hours. Your main day, and your speaking is conducted on some other day. So in the main day, you give your reading, listening, and writing paper, and that is for 2.5 hours in total. Is IELTS required for STEM programs? Maybe, as far as my knowledge is concerned, but yes, you can get in touch with our counselors to just finalize that decision. Any other question, guys? Anything you want to know apart from this? So if there is any question given in your, question book, then please copy paste it next time, or maybe get in touch, with someone who knows about IELTS listening, so that they can help you face to face. Because here in the comment section, I'll not be able to understand what kind of question you're talking about. Although I would love to answer that question, no problem. So next time you can just bring it on the comment section, copy paste it if possible, and let's see what we can do about it. So try to see if they are talking about the context of younger and older generation, or are they talking about something else. Okay. So maybe you can just mention the test number and book number from where you practiced. Just try to mention that, and I'll look into it and I'll get back to it in the next class. Just mention the question number, IELTS book from where you're practicing, and the test paper. So somebody is asking, ma'am, how long does IELTS take to expire? Well, the validity of IELTS exam is 2 years. So after 2 years, you have to give it again. As you said it last, 2:30, no, 2 hours, 30 minutes, yes. divided equally? No, it's not divided equally. Why? And you're not given a break in between. So you have to do all the three modules together. And speaking is either, after the main day or before 2-3 days of the main day. So it depends from where you're taking your exam, where is your center, and what is the date which has been given to you. So there is no equal division of time. Reading is for 1 hour, 60 minutes. Listening is for half an hour. And your writing is for, again, 1 hour. So that makes it 2.5 hours. So in which section we score more marks in listening test? Well, as I said in my video as well, previously when I just started with it, that your IELTS section 1 and 2 is easier as compared to your section 3 and 4. So please go and watch this video again, guys. I know most of you have missed out on this very important video of listening, first class of free Shiksha IELTS listening module. Reading we have already finished, so please click on the link below so that you can watch it again. And just subscribe with us with our YouTube channel with the Shiksha Study Abroad name, and so that you can just get notifications on what we are having next. So tomorrow we'll be covering up one of the questions of IELTS listening, and I'll be discussing it in detail. Most probably we'll be starting with multiple choice questions, that is MCQs. I'll be giving you the tips, strategies. I'll be showing you some sample question and answers, and we'll be reading a little bit about it. So tomorrow we are going to cover up IELTS listening multiple choice questions, which are one of the trickiest questions. So please do not forget to join with us. And for joining, you need to click on the link if you want to join tomorrow's class, because tomorrow's class is also very important. Are there books or references that we can use to upskill to score better marks? Well, again, the solution to this is clicking on the link, because in our first June class, I already talked about many books and references. I have given it in my PPT also. So just go and watch that video, and in the PPT you will find many books and references from where you can practice. Okay, thank you so much for mentioning the IELTS listening to. So somebody who had asked that question about younger and older generation, so that person has mentioned the book as well. Official Cambridge Guide, okay, for academic and general training. All right, it's that white and blue book, right? Okay, listening section 2 and recording 8. Okay, fine, we'll go through it. I'll come back to it later on. In case I forget to answer that question, you can remind me again later in the upcoming classes, maybe tomorrow or day after, okay? So I'll get back to this, don't worry. Somebody has written, I like the way you gave positive vibes when someone is nervous. Thank you so much. If it's making you, positive in a sense, then thank you. That is the thing which I want for my candidates. Because see, in the end, if I start giving you notions and tips about grammar, do this, and vocabulary, learn these words, it won't help, right? So in the end, you just have to be confident, and you just have to speak in your normal way, like you speak in your daily English life as well. Just speak in English to your friends and family members. Try to use some good words when you're trying to be in conversation with someone. So that also makes a great difference, right? All right, welcome guys, welcome. So I hope these videos are helping you. I hope you're watching the older videos as well. So in case you have not watched them, please go and watch them, because definitely that will increase your scores in the reading and listening especially. So from tomorrow we are going to start with another kind of question in listening module, and reading we have already finished, and later on we'll come to writing and speaking as well. All right, so I hope that is all for the day. Your questions have also finished, and in case if I do not answer any question here live, then please do not worry. You can post your question again on the comment section. Even after the live video finishes, we still answer your questions. So we regularly keep seeing your comment, our comment section, and we keep answering your questions. So do not stop with the questions in case you need to ask more of them. That's fine. And that is all for the day for the IELTS listening overview class, guys. So somebody is asking, okay, let me take one or two more questions. I heard that IELTS certificate is valid for only 2 years. Yes, you heard it right. So it is only for 2 years, and then for again, after 2 years when it expires, you will have to give it again. Thank you so much for your kind advice with regard to IELTS exam preparation. Well, that's my, you know, task. That is why I am here to help all of you to make your IELTS journey smoother, as you saw in our trailer as well. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you tomorrow in another class of IELTS listening module. So let's try to make it more interactive through the comment section and keep asking me questions. I would love to answer them one by one. And yes, in case if I forget to answer any of the questions like today, so like today, one of the guy asked that official Cambridge guide. So I'll come back to it tomorrow or day after. Just remind me once again in the comment section. Okay. All right, fine. Welcome, guys. Welcome. And thank you so much for joining with us. Have a great evening ahead. And till then, bye bye. Take care.